Hi, I'm Amara Charles. Welcome to Magic Monday, where I love to share a little bit of magic to start your day in a really good way. And today, and for the next couple of Mondays, the focus is intimacy. Everybody, one way or another, is afraid of intimacy. Intimacy means exposing yourself with someone. And if you think about it, well, nobody really knows anybody. And being intimate means that you have to drop all your defenses and mask. And that can be a little scary. And the fear is that if you drop all your defenses, and well, who knows what the other person is going to do? The truth is, we're all kind of hiding many things, not only from other people, but from ourselves too. And you know what? We've been taught, we've been brought up to hide and to put up a false front with all kinds of taboos and inhibitions about what we should and shouldn't do. So when we're close to somebody, maybe it's somebody you've known for years, it's safer to put up a distance. We have this kind of anti-intimacy because it feels safer to put up a little distance and a little defense. And because somebody can take advantage of us when we're fragile and when we're open, and that's why everybody's afraid of intimacy. But the thing is, everybody craves intimacy. Everybody wants intimacy because otherwise you're alone in the world. You're alone without a friend. You're alone without a lover and without somebody that you can, really trust and really just bear your wounds. And you see, our wounds, they can't heal unless they're exposed. So the more you hide your wounds, the more dangerous it is because that becomes infected and you hold it inside and it causes sickness. So intimacy is absolutely necessary and everybody longs for it. But the thing is, you want the other person to drop their defenses and the other person to be vulnerable, to drop their false personality and, to be present. But you're not dropping your own defenses. See, this is one of the major conflicts between friends and lovers. Nobody wants to drop their defenses. But the thing is, you have to really make a choice because, you see, both people really want intimacy. Just remember that. You both want it. So you have to drop your fears or else you're never going to be able to be intimate with someone. And you'll always miss it. And the key is you have to take the initiative. You have to really just accept yourself for who you are. If you can't accept yourself completely, then how can you expect somebody else to embrace you, accept you, and love you, and be open to you? You see, you've been rejected before, and we all have. But you've learned to put yourself down for it, and you go on hiding it, and you go on pretending it. But it's not true. Intimacy is something that happens when you show your vulnerability to others. And that's where these invisible spaces of magic are that feel so good. Because when you show up just as who you are, that's really the most attractive thing. But you're used to hiding things that you're not proud of. But there's also, just know that there's also a hidden desire inside of you. And so there's this war because you've been taught to hide it, but you crave intimacy. So you got to change your attitude and accept yourself for just simply being a human being. And that intimacy, instead of it always escaping you, you'll never have it if you keep looking for it outside and if you hold up the mask. So you got to stand in just being yourself, in your nakedness. And so I'm really dedicating this to a woman who I spoke with recently who was really afraid of speaking up, and she was with her husband for many years, and she said, that she couldn't even finish a sentence because, he wouldn't let her finish the sentence because he always interjected. So she decided to hold back and stop being intimate and hold back, and she didn't want to be vulnerable. But it brewed inside, and she got less and less excited about life. She started to get numb and she just wondered what happened to her passion. Okay? So here's what I suggested. I said, and let's practice saying what you really want with yourself first. Okay? Practice being vulnerable. Practice being intimate with yourself first. So I want you to imagine just the way you would like it to be. I want you to imagine, what would you like your husband to say to you? And after hesitating for a minute, she said, well, I'd like him to say, I want you to do whatever you want to do and do what makes you happy. That's what she really wanted to hear. But of course, up until then, she'd been hearing exactly the opposite. So in working with her, I suggested, and I suggest for you today, is to practice speaking intimately with yourself first. Ask yourself, what would I like my friend to say, or my boss to say, or my partner to say? That's intimacy. And it starts with you being intimate with yourself. And so I said to her, let's do this. Let's close your eyes and let's do this here. Breathe in and ask yourself, what would I really like to see happening in my intimacy? And just breathe that in. How would you like to be greeted? Just hear it in your mind's ear when you walk into the house, when you walk into a lover's house, your partner. What would you like them to say? So imagine this and breathe it in. How would you like to be given a hug? How would you like to be greeted with an intimate hello and in a tender way? Hear someone saying this to you. Hear it in your mind. Hear it in your mind's ear. What would you want it to be? And just breathe that in. And really, how lovely it is to be greeted with intimacy. And please, please let go of, well, it's just not going to be that way. Just erase that thought and just breathe in. Hear it in your mind's ear. See it in your mind's eye. Feel it in your mind's body. This is what I would like to hear and feel. This intimacy starts with myself. And that's what I have for you today. I am Amara Charles, wishing you a really happy, really intimate Monday.